days of our lives.
Bo Brady's shocking drama in Salem after more than 2 years in a coma and a chilling 8 years in cold storage under the manipulative grip of Megan Hathaway. Bo's return has sent shockwaves through the community. His awakening is just the beginning of a summer filled with heartbreak, family reunions, and dangerous confrontations. For fans, especially those who've followed Bo's journey for decades, the next week promises 4 earth-shattering shocks that will leave Salem reeling. Shock number 1, the ghost of Megan Hathaway looms large. Bo Brady's return to consciousness was nothing short of miraculous, but it stirred up old wounds and older enemies. The name Megan Hathaway, the scheming villainess who once held Bo captive in her high-tech lab, slipped from his lips recently, hinting at unfinished business. Megan, played with chilling precision by Miranda Wilson, hasn't been seen in Salem since 2023, but her shadow looms large. Back then, she was a woman unhinged, her mind warped by a near-fatal hot tub electrocution that left her haunted and obsessive. Could she have heard that Bo, her former love and prisoner, is awake? And if so, what might she do? The possibility of Megan's return is a chilling prospect for Bo. Her last stint in Salem saw her brainwashing him, tearing him away from his soulmate, Hope Williams Brady, and plunging him into a nightmare of control and captivity. Now, with Bo regaining his strength, there's a chance Megan might see his recovery as a challenge or an opportunity. In 2023, Wilson herself hinted at her eagerness to return, saying she'd be waiting by the phone for a call from the day's producers. If Megan does slink back into Salem, expect a dramatic showdown. Bo, no stranger to fighting for his freedom, might finally get the chance to exact revenge on the woman who stole years of his life. But Megan is cunning, and her plans are never straightforward. Could she target Bo again, or worse, those he loves? The thought alone is enough to keep Salem's residents and viewers on edge. Shock number 2, a heartbreaking loss shakes Bo's world. Bo's return to Salem wasn't all joyous reunions and warm embraces. The news of his awakening came hand in hand with a devastating blow, the death of his dear friend and brother-in-law, John Black. John, a pillar of the Salem community, succumbed to injuries sustained from the experimental Versix drug, which was used to save his life but ultimately proved too much for his body. For Bo, who's still piecing together the last decade of his life, this loss is a gut punch. John wasn't just a friend. He was family, married to Bo's close ally, Marlena Evans, and a man who stood by Bo through countless trials. Next week, Salem will come together to honor John's memory, and Bo will be at the heart of this emotional gathering. Family members from far and wide, including Bo's beloved Hope, their daughter Ciara, and son Sean, will return to pay their respects. The scenes promise to be tear-jerking as Bo grapples with guilt and grief. He'll wonder if his own prolonged absence, trapped in Megan's lab and then a coma, somehow contributed to the chain of events that led to John's death. For viewers over 65 who've watched Bo and John's friendship evolve over decades, this moment will resonate deeply, a reminder of the fragility of life and the bonds that hold us together. Bo's heartbreak will set the stage for a summer of soul-searching as he vows to protect those he loves in John's honor. Shock number 3. A stunning family revelation rocks the Kiriaki's clan. As if losing John weren't enough, Bo is about to be hit with another bombshell, a shocking revelation about his family ties. The Kiriaki's family, long a powerhouse in Salem, is no stranger to drama, but this summer, Bo will find himself at the center of a storyline that redefines his place in the clan. He's just learned that Xander Cook, a man he once knew as one of Victor Kiriaki's ruthless henchmen, is actually his brother. This news is a lot to process for Bo, who's still catching up on years of missed history. Xander, played with roguish charm by Paul Telfer, has evolved from a villain to a complex figure in Salem, but his connection to Bo adds a new layer of tension. The Kiriaki storyline will also pull in Alex Kiriaki's, Victor's grandson, played by Robert Scott Wilson, as well as 2 formidable women, Gwen Rizek, Emily O'Brien, and the ever-scheming Vivian Alamain, Louise Sorrell. This tangled web of alliances and betrayals promises to be a roller coaster, with Bo caught in the middle. Will he embrace Xander as a brother, or will their past conflicts, Xander's shady dealings versus Bo's moral compass, drive a wedge between them? And what role will Gwen and Vivian play? Gwen's knack for stirring trouble and Vivian's thirst for power could spell danger for Bo, who's still vulnerable after his long recovery. For older viewers, this storyline echoes the classic days family feuds of the past, where loyalty and betrayal went hand in hand, keeping audiences glued to their screens. Shock number 4, a family reunion amidst brewing storms. The fourth shock awaiting Bo is both a blessing and a burden, a bittersweet family reunion. With Hope, Ciara, and Sean returning to Salem for John's memorial, Bo will have a chance to reconnect with the people who mean the most to him. Hope, his lifelong love, has been his anchor through every storm, and their reunion will be a highlight for longtime fans. Ciara and Sean, now grown and navigating their own lives, will bring both pride and worry to Bo, who's missed so much of their journeys. These moments of tenderness, set against the backdrop of John's loss, will tug at the heartstrings, offering a reminder of the enduring power of family. But this reunion won't be all warm hugs and happy tears. The Kiriaki's drama and the looming threat of Megan Hathaway's return will cast a dark cloud over the Brady family. Bo, ever the protector, will feel the weight of keeping his loved ones safe, especially as new secrets unravel. Could Megan target Hope, knowing she's Bo's greatest weakness? Or will the Kiriaki's power struggle pull Ciara and Sean into its dangerous orbit? For viewers in their golden years, who followed the Brady family through decades of triumphs and tragedies, this reunion will be a poignant mix of nostalgia and suspense, a testament to the enduring drama of Days of Our Lives. A summer of high stakes and high emotions as Bo Brady steps back into the heart of Salem. The summer of 2025 promises to be one of the most dramatic in Days of Our Lives history. From the chilling possibility of Megan Hathaway's return to the heartbreaking loss of John Black, the shocking Kiriaki's family revelations, and a bittersweet family reunion, Bo's journey is just beginning. Each shock will test his strength, his heart, and his resolve, reminding viewers why he's been a fan favorite for so long. For those who've tuned in week after week, year after year, these developments are more than just plot twists. They're a continuation of a saga that's woven into the fabric of their lives. So, grab a cup of tea, settle into your favorite chair, and brace yourself for a week of shocks that will leave you gasping, crying, and eagerly awaiting the next chapter in Salem's never-ending story. Bo Brady is back, and he's ready to face whatever comes next, whether it's a vengeful ex, a fractured family, or the ghosts of his past. The sands of the hourglass keep turning, and in Salem, anything is possible. Bo Brady versus Xander Cook. A Kiriaki's family showdown in Salem, the heart of Days of Our Lives, is no stranger to family feuds. But the summer of 2025 is set to ignite a clash that will shake the Kiriaki's dynasty to its core. Bo Brady, the rugged hero who's just awakened from a coma after years of captivity, is reeling from a bombshell. Xander Cook, a man he once dismissed as a ruthless henchman for Victor Kiriakis, is his brother. This shocking revelation, the third in a series of jolts awaiting Bo next week, sets the stage for a dramatic confrontation that will test loyalties, unearth buried secrets, and redefine the Kiriakis' legacy. For viewers over 65 who've watched the Kiriaki's clan navigate decades of power struggles, this showdown promises to be a gripping chapter in Salem's storied history. A brother revealed, a past resurrected. Bo Brady's return to Salem after years in Megan Hathaway's lab and a 2-year coma has been anything but smooth. Still piecing together the lost years, Bo was blindsided by the news that Xander Cook, played with roguish intensity by Paul Telfer, isn't just a distant associate but his flesh and blood brother. To Bo, Xander was always a shadowy figure, a hired gun who carried out Victor's dirty work without a second thought. The idea that they share the same Kiriaki's blood is a bitter pill to swallow, especially for a man who's always prided himself on his moral compass. Xander, on the other hand, has evolved since Bo last knew him. Once a villain who thrived on chaos, he's become a complex figure in Salem, balancing ambition with moments of vulnerability. Yet, his past sins, schemes, betrayals, and violence loom large in Bo's memory. The revelation of their brotherhood, tied to Victor's tangled legacy, forces Bo to confront a reality he's unprepared for. The brother he never knew is both a rival and a reflection of the Kiriaki's family's darker side. For longtime fans, this twist echoes the classic Days family dramas, where blood ties are as much a curse as a bond. The Kiriaki's power struggle ignites the confrontation between Bo and Xander isn't just personal. It's a battle for the soul of the Kiriaki's empire. Victor's death left a void, and the family's wealth and influence are up for grabs. Bo, who's always kept the Kiriaki's name at arm's length, finds himself drawn into a storyline that includes Alex Kiriakis, Gwen Rizek, and the formidable Vivian Alamain. But it's Xander who stands as his primary adversary, a man whose hunger for power clashes with Bo's desire to protect the family's legacy from corruption. Next week, expect sparks to fly as Bo and Xander face off. Picture a tense scene in the Kiriaki's mansion where Bo, still regaining his strength, squares up against Xander's sharp-tongued bravado. Bo might accuse Xander of tarnishing the Kiriaki's name, pointing to his history of shady deals. Xander, never one to back down, could fire back, challenging Bo's absence and questioning his right to judge after years away. The dialogue will cut deep, unearthing old wounds and forcing both men to confront their shared heritage. For older viewers, this clash will feel like a throwback to the days of Victor's own battles, a reminder that the Kiriaki's family thrives on conflict. A fragile bond or a bitter betrayal? At the heart of this showdown is a question: can Bo and Xander find common ground, or will their differences tear them apart? Bo, guided by his love for hope and his commitment to doing right, sees the Kiriaki's name as something to redeem. Xander, shaped by years of survival and ambition, views it as a means to an end. Their opposing worldviews make trust elusive, but the Kiriaki's storyline hints at a larger threat, perhaps Gwen's scheming or Vivian's machinations, that could force them to unite, however reluctantly. Imagine a moment where Bo, driven by his protective instincts, extends an olive branch, only for Xander to rebuff it, wary of Bo's intentions. Or picture Xander, in a rare moment of vulnerability, revealing a glimpse of the pain he's carried as the Kiriaki's outcast, stirring Bo's empathy. These emotional beats will resonate with fans who followed the show for decades, evoking the push and pull of family ties that Days does so well. Yet, the threat of betrayal looms. As Xander's past suggests, he's never far from a double-cross. A legacy at stake as Bo and Xander's confrontation unfolds. The stakes couldn't be higher. The Kiriaki's empire, with its wealth and secrets, hangs in the balance, and their feud will ripple through Salem. Bo's determination to honor Victor's better qualities clashes with Xander's pragmatic ruthlessness, setting the stage for a summer of intrigue. Will Bo emerge as the family's moral anchor, or will Xander's cunning prevail? And how will players like Gwen and Vivian exploit their divide? For viewers in their golden years, this storyline is a nostalgic nod to Days at its best. A family saga where love, loyalty, and betrayal collide. Bo and Xander's showdown is more than a fight, it's a reckoning with the past and a battle for the future. As the sands of the hourglass turn, one thing is certain: Salem will never be the same.